So what is going on, my fellow collectors? How is everybody doing today? Daredevil19 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Bandai Tamashii Nations SH Figuarts Spider-Man Homecoming Spider-Man. So let's get into it right away and start off with the box. So we do get a cool looking style box for this Spider-Man. We do get the window right there in the front of the box, and we do get a tiny one on the side there. It says SH Figuarts Spider-Man. We do get a cool image of the figure on the front there. It says Marvel Spider-Man Homecoming Tamashii Nations and Bandai. And then the bottom of the box has the blobby to bluster nobody cares about. Then we do get a cool image of the Spider-Man figure. And then here is the top of the box. And then the one side of it. And then the other side of the box here. And then the back of it does show a few poses you can get the figure into, along with some of the accessories. But anyway, that is the packaging. Let's get this figure open to take a closer look at the web slinger. Alrighty, taking a closer detailed look, and Tamashii Nations really did an excellent job with this Homecoming Spider-Man figure. And I've been waiting for them to make us a Spider-Man in the SH Figuarts line for years now, and I am pretty damn impressed. The head sculpt, I think, looks great. The webbing looks fantastic throughout this entire figure. I do like how we have silver on the eyes. I don't know if they're supposed to be white or silver. I think they might supposed to be white, but I'm not 100% sure of that. I do like the silver though. I dig it, and where the black meets the silver, nice clean paint there, so very good job with that. Nice clean paint for the black for the webbing all throughout the figure, so they did an excellent job with that. And I do love the texture to his suit. I think that looks really cool. So very good job all throughout the head sculpt. You can see his ears sculpted up under there, and then his nose as well, so very good job with that. Very nice work on this. And then the neck, great job with that as well on the webbing and everything. And then the torso here, we do get the little Spider-Man logo there, which looks great. Very nice job with it. The webbing once again looks fantastic throughout the torso, throughout the arms and everything. And then we do get these thicker, darker black lining throughout his suit here and there, and they did a great job with that as well. And I do like that color black that they chose. It's like a gunmetal grayish type color. Looks really cool. Very nice sculpt throughout the torso though. Some people might not like the way these shoulder joints look with these pieces hiding the shoulder joints, but they did that so you get some pretty good arm articulation, which we'll get into a little bit later. But right here around the waist, this is a separate piece. You can move it around a little bit. Nice sculpt and paint all throughout it, so great job on that. And then the back here, we do get the Spider-Man logo again on his back, the more classic type looking one. Very nice work on the webbing up there and that darker black thicker line. Do get a little bit of sculpt work on the middle of that line as well. Very good job around the blue and everything, so great job throughout the torso here. And then the arms look dope too. Very nice job all throughout the arms. The one minor little issue I have is the elbow joints are a little bit of an off red compared to the rest of the red on the figure, but I mean, it's not horribly bad. I don't even know if you guys could tell, but it seems to be a little bit brighter compared to the rest of the red on the figure. But they did put that texture on there as well on the elbow joints, so I do like that they did that. And then the forearms look dope. Very nice job there. Then we do get his oh man, I'm having a brain fart. Web shooters. There we go. Web shooters. What the hell? I couldn't remember that. They are a separate piece, so you can swivel them around. So I do like that they did that. So say you have his arm like that, you could put them up like that as well. So I do like how they are separate pieces, but very nice sculpt all throughout the web shooters. And then his hands look so tiny. Jeez. Well, he is supposed to be, what, like 15 years old or something? The legs here, they did a great job with the legs. Very nice sculpt and paint all throughout it, and we do get that nice texture all throughout the legs, which look dope. One issue though, when you articulate this figure around, these lines right here and on this side, they did get ruined a little bit on mine, because when you articulate the leg up, these pieces here rub up on it, so it kind of ruined those parts of the line on my figure. So that is a little issue you got to worry about when you articulate your figure around. But the thighs look great. Very nice sculpt and paint. The knee joints blend in very well. Really great job with the knee joints. There's the back. I do like all the darker blue lines all throughout the blue there. Very cool looking. And then the lower legs here. Nice work on the spider boots. The webbing really looks fantastic on this figure. And then the feet here. Nice sculpt and paint again. The one thing though, they missed a little bit of that gunmetal gray paint on the, kind of like on his toe right there, so that is a bit disappointing. Then the bottom of them, we do get some spider web treads, but overall, I think they executed the detail on this Spider-Man extremely well, and I don't think they could have really done any better of a job with a Homecoming Spider-Man figure when it comes to the details, so I am extremely satisfied with it. But anyway, let's continue on. Moving on to the accessories, we got a bunch of great stuff included with this Spider-Man, so we do get a total of 14 interchangeable hands, and that is definitely awesome. I think the more hands, the better. So we do get a pair of fists, of course, which come on the figure out of the packaging, and they are molded in a red plastic. The only paint we get is the black line right there for the web shooters, I believe. But we do get that very nice texture all throughout the hands as well, but very nice sculpt on these fists. They're just really tiny, and all his hands are extremely easy to interchange. He just has a very small joint on there, so just be a little careful with that, but they're very easy to interchange. So we do get a pair of fists, and then we do get a pair of open resting hands here. Very nice sculpt and nice paintwork on the web shooter there, or the button that he presses to make the web shooter shoot out. And we do get that nice texture all throughout the hand as well. So we do get a pair of those, and then we do get a pair of like open palm type blasting hands, even though he doesn't shoot any type of blast like DBZ, but that's how I describe these hands. Very nice sculpt and nice paint on the black right there, so good job with those. Then we do get a pair of web gripping hands, or actually, sorry, cell phone holding hands. But very nice sculpt on these. You can see like a little notch sculpted right under the thumb for the corner of the phone to go into. And he holds it really well, much better than the Revoltech Spider-Gwen. As you can see, it fits in there very well. So we do get a pair of cell phone holding hands, and very nice paint and sculpt on those. And then we also get a pair of totally dude awesome hands, like Michelangelo type hands, or Dog the Bounty Hunter. Hey brother, how you doing? But they did a very nice job with the sculpt on these and the paint for the black right there. So good job with the totally dude hands. And then we also get a pair of web gripping hands, and this is for the longest web that we get. You just slide it right in his hand. It's very simple to get it in there, but very nice sculpt and paint on the black line on these hands here. And then finally, of course, we have to get some web shooting hands, or thwipping hands, and very nice sculpt and paint on the black right there. So very good job on all 14 interchangeable hands. So we do get all those hands, and then we also get his backpack, and they did a really great job with this. My only minor complaint I have is I wish they added some paint shading on the beige right there. I think it would have made it look a little bit better, but that's only my personal opinion about it. I know a lot of people don't mind paint shading, but they really did a very nice job sculpting it. It actually looks like a miniature book bag. So very good job with it. I love all the sculpted wrinkles on the side and everything around the bottom of it. Do get these zippers at the top, the little tabs for the zippers there. Very nice job with that. Then we get the straps, and we do have a peg right there. So the reason why there is a peg right there, on his back in the middle of the spider, you can see where you could kind of lift your fingernail or a very small like screwdriver in there, like something like that. And you just be very careful not to scratch anything up. You get it in there, and you just pop it right out like that. And then we have a peg insert, which is meant for the backpack, and it's meant for a Tamashii Nation stand. Now for the backpack, the way you get it on, the left strap here, you unpeg. So you put the loop around the right arm, make the left strap go over his shoulder. You could either peg it into his back first, and then peg the strap in, or you could peg the strap in, and then peg the peg on the backpack in his back after. It really doesn't matter. It goes on the same way. So looks great once you have it on. I think I'm going to have him displayed with this and then have it like he's hanging from his web, as you will see in the pictures at the end of the video. But a very cool accessory that they added with this Spider-Man. It's probably one of my favorite things we do get with the figure. So we do get the backpack, and then we also get just one interchangeable head, but just like the Revoltech Spider-Man, we do get 6 interchangeable eyes, and it's very similar to how the Revoltech one is as well. And we get these eyes right here, which is the widest opened eyes. And these are probably my favorite out of all 3 of them. And we did take a look at it before. They did a very nice job with the eyes. And if you would like to know how to interchange them, you got to pop that from out of his head. And then if you look in there, you do see the pegs from the eyes. And we get this clear little tool here. as you can see, and what you would do is just push on the pegs and it pops the eyes out a little bit. Then you have to like dig your fingernail under them and then just pull them out like that, and you take a new eye and you just push them in, and very simple to interchange the eyes. And then you would put this piece back in his head there, and then there you go. Then you just pop the head back on the figure, of course. So we do get those eyes there, and then we also get the squinted eyes at the top. Very nice paint and sculpt on those. Then we do get the eyes that are semi-open or semi-closed on the bottom there. A nice paint and sculpt on those as well. And I do like how they gave this figure interchangeable eyes instead of a bunch of interchangeable heads. It was a pretty smart idea, and they are fairly simple to interchange. So we do get those 6 interchangeable eyes. Oh, I also do wish that we did get an unmasked Peter Parker head, which it is a little disappointing we didn't get it, but I think we do get more than enough accessories, and I'm not going to ever display him without the unmasked head. But I know some of you do wish he did have the unmasked head, because that's how you do want to display your Spider-Man figure. So figured I mentioned that. So we do get these 6 interchangeable eyes, and then we also get his cell phone. Then we do get this extra peg here, which is meant to go in his back, and it's meant for a Tamashii Nation stand, but I don't really know why they included it, because the peg hole on his back already, you could just peg the Tamashii Nation stand into, so I don't know why they gave us that. So the way you would get it on here is you just peg it into his back, like that, and then you just peg the stand right into there. I guess to give it a little more room between the figure and the stand there. Maybe that's why they included it, but it is, I guess, cool that they included it. That's the only thing it's meant for. So we do get that, and then we also get his cell phone. And be careful not to lose this, because it's very tiny. And they did a pretty good job with it. They could have put something on the screen like Aunt May or Tony Stark, like he was calling them, but they decided to put nothing on it at all. So I kind of do like the Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi Spider-Gwen's phone compared to this one. But it is cool that we do get that. So we do get that stuff. And then we finally get 3 different webs. So we do get 2 webs where it looks like he's shooting them out. And then we do get a web where it looks like he's swinging. And I'm really not too crazy about this web here. It's just like a translucent plastic. And I'd rather have them added some like white paint to it or something, because it just looks really bland and plain. So I'm really not a fan of these webs here. I do like the Amazing Yamaguchi Spider-Man webs a zillion times better. But I mean, the sculpt of them look alright. I'm just, like I said, I'm not a fan of these, but this is the web swinging web here. So we get that one. And then we do get the 2 web shooting webs. So we do get a longer one, as you can see right there. Same thing, a translucent plastic. And we have like a little loop at the end, which I'll show you how to put that on in a second. Then we do get a smaller one here. As you can see, it is a translucent plastic as well, and it does have that little loop at the end. And the way you get these on the figure here is when you take his hand off, you put that over the joint, and then you just put the thwipping hand on. Alright, so let's get that on there. And then there you go, as simple as that. And it does line up alright. I'm really not a fan of putting them on the joints and then putting the hand on. I do like how Revoltech did theirs, how they put a little peg insert on the thwipping hand, and then we have a peg on the web and you peg it into his hand. I felt like that was a better idea to use for a Spider-Man figure when it comes to the webs in their hands. But anyway, that is all the accessories included with the web slinger. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review, shall we? Now for the height of the Amazing Spider-Man. To the top of his head, it looks like he's a little bit over 5.5 inches tall. And then here he is compared to the SH Figuarts Civil War Captain America, the Mark III Iron Man, the Civil War Ant-Man, and the Civil War Black Panther. And I think he fits in scale pretty well with the other SH Figuarts Marvel figures, since he is a teenager. And then here he is compared to the SH Figuarts Age of Ultron Black Widow, the Age of Ultron Hawkeye, the Marvel Legends Netflix Daredevil, and the Good Smile Company Figma Avengers Hulk. And then here he is compared to the SH Figuarts Awakened Warrior Super Saiyan Goku and the Mezco 112 Punisher. Anyway, there's some quick comparisons. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review. So now for the articulation, we do get 2 joints at the neck. So the upper neck joint, you could get Peter Parker's head to go up about that much. And then it goes down about that much. So alright, forward and back movement there. We only get a tiny bit of pivot. I don't know if we can get more out of it, but when I try to do it more, his head will pop off, so you really don't get the best pivot up there. And then it does swivel. Of course, the lower neck joint, you actually get way better movement, I think. So very nice forward and back movement at the lower neck. So with both joints, it looks down about that much, and then both joints looks up pretty much all the way. Then we do get pretty good pivot at the lower neck, much better than the upper neck joint. Then it also swivels as well. So we do get some decent articulation at both the neck joints. And we do get a point of articulation at the torso right under the chest there. And with that joint, he actually crunches forward decently. Doesn't really go back too much with that joint. We do get really not much. I really can't get it to pivot at all, actually, at that joint. I mean, it moves, but it just springs right back. So I don't even know if there's any pivot at that torso joint, but it does. Yeah, I think the joint's just really tight. There we go. Yeah, the joint's just really tight on mine, so it does have pivot. It's just the joint's way too tight. And then, of course, we do have the swivel there. Now, for the waist here, it goes forward and back a decent amount, so you can get them to crunch forward about that much. I do wish we had better forward and back movement, though. I mean, it does go back pretty good with both the joints, but I do wish we had a little bit of better articulation at the waist and the torso. We do get some pretty good pivot at the waist, as you can see there, and then it also swivels. So, pretty good movement, but I feel like it could have been much better, especially for a Spider-Man figure. Now, for the arms here, they are pretty damn good for the most part. So we do have a nice joint in there, and you get a great circular motion out of the arm, and I do love that point of articulation. And then the arms do go out to the sides about 90 degrees, which is a bit disappointing. Wish they went up a little bit more since he is Spider-Man. They do go up and down. No bicep swivel, which is also disappointing. So you're going to have to swivel it at the shoulder joint there. We do have double jointed elbows that bend in all the way, so that is excellent. And then it can swivel a little bit where the elbow joint, actually it could swivel all the way around at the elbow joint where it connects into the forearm. So it kind of makes up for not having the bicep swivel. Then we do have a ball hinge at the wrist, so it does swivel and then hinges back and forth. So pretty good movement throughout the entire arm down to the wrist. Now for the legs here, we do have the more updated articulation at the legs. So Spider-Man can pretty much kick all the way up, so that is definitely a plus right there. Does go back about 90 degrees and then kicks out to the side. About 90 degrees, so decent, I guess. Then we do have a nice upper thigh swivel. We have double jointed knees that pretty much bend back all the way. Now for the ankles, they do swivel. They hinge up a really good amount. Same with hinging down. And then we do get a 90-degree bend ankle pivot. So really great ankle articulation. Then we do have a little bit of a toe hinge there. So overall, we do get excellent articulation with this Spider-Man, and this is the type of articulation Tamashii Nations should always be giving us. I feel like the torso and the waist could have been a little bit better, and I do wish the arms went out to the sides a bit more and we had bicep swell, but other than that, you're going to be able to get them in some great Spider-Man type poses, and I'm about to show you some of them right about now. But anyway, that is my review of the SH Figuarts Spider-Man Homecoming. Spider-Man, hope you enjoyed it. If I had to rate this figure between a 1 through 10, I'd have to give it an even 9. If you would like to know the price and where to buy this figure, I had mine imported from Japan from AmiAmi. This is the Japanese release without the wall. You could get the US release that comes with the wall, but it will be a little more expensive. And if you do want to get this one, you do have to get it from Japan. If you want to get the US one, you can get it from AgelessGeeks.com. And don't forget, when you purchase something from Ageless Geeks, to enter in codename Daredevil, and you will get yourself a 5% off discount. I will put more information in the description below. And if you would like to support the channel, don't forget to subscribe and click on that bell icon. And if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, just give it a thumbs up anyway, because action figures are awesome. But thanks for watching. I will see you later. So we do get a very cool looking style box for this Spider-Man. We do get the one right there on the front of the box, and we do get a tiny... This is Marvel Spider-Man, Homecoming, Tamashii Nations, and Band-Aid. Never cease to amaze... And the Civil War Ant-Man and the Civil War Black Panther, and the Marvel Legends Netflix Daredevil, and the... His cell phone, and a chibbity-chibbity-boo. So we get 2 web shooting hands, and then we do get a web swinging. Shooting hands, what? 3 different webs, so we do get 2 web shooting webs. Damn it. I don't know why we got that piece. Damn it, I dropped it! You bastard! Damn it.